Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So you have to bear with me being on the screen today. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
I think you people can come a little closer so I can also hear you. Yeah, thank you. So those who are at the back still can occupy the front benches on the side. I think I'll be able to hear you better that way. Yeah, move a little ahead. Okay, second bench, who's at the back? I can't see you. Yeah, can you come this side? Okay, thank you. Good morning, Sahas. Good morning, Vishali. Vishali is...
I'm a coordinator who branch.
Okay, yeah, okay. Thank you. मुझे लग रहा था विशाली मैंने देखा नहीं पहले क्या. Okay, so were you people able to do anything from yesterday's session? Were you able to complete the exercise or didn't have time?
The 12th.
Yeah, the 12th one. The 12th one we had done. The 13th one I had told you to complete. Any doubts?
Session 13, question number 4, I have it.
Session 13, question number 4. Okay. Okay. Any other doubts from anybody else? Just a moment, I'll just share the screen. Okay, now this, now 1 and 2 you've done?
Yes.
No problem in that. Now question number 4. It says which choice links the text to the data in the chart? Yeah. So I think the chart is right here. Now the passage is about I think, population of sea urchins and how they have been eliminated over time. Or no. Yeah, how the coming in of the otters have eliminated sea urchins. So what is the data telling you? So the histogram is about density of number per square meter. Now effects of sea otter presence in kelp and sea urchin density in coastal areas. So you have the sea urchins and the kelps, right? So when there are no otters present, there was a little bit, there was some sea urchins and some kelp, but both below 10. When the otters came in for 2 years or less, sea urchins almost disappears and the kelp density went up. while when there was otters present for 10 years or more, the kelp went up and the sea urchins disappeared, right? So now what was the question number 4, where it is? Okay, so this is where what we are talking about. A recent study by 2 professors at the University of California, Santa Cruz, Chris Wilmers and James Estes, suggested that kelp forests protected by sea otters can absorb as much as 12 times the amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as those where sea urchins are allowed to devour the kelp, right? Now your question 4 is, which of these sentences would link the text to the data in the chart, right? So the data in the chart, from the data in the chart, you figured out that if there were more otters, the kelp density went up while the sea urchins disappeared. So your options are kelp forests are protected by sea otters. Can we say so? Now B says with the help with kelp forest, carbon dioxide absorption from the atmosphere has increased. Now can we conclude this from the given graph? The graph doesn't talk about carbon dioxide absorption, right? Now C says presence of sea otters has helped in increase in the density of kelp forest, leading to increased carbon dioxide absorption from the atmosphere. Now, here what we are talking about links the text to the data in the chart. So the text is talking about kelp forests are protected by sea otters, can absorb as much as 12 times the amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Now we are talking about this part. So what can you use to replace this part, right? As those where sea urchins are allowed to devour kelp. So now this particular sentence has has carbon dioxide in it, that has gone up, and the forests are protected by sea otters. So now something that should be able to link the text to the graph. Now B, with kelp forest, carbon dioxide absorption from the atmosphere has increased, but this doesn't talk about the sea otters, right? Now C says presence of sea otters has helped in the increase in density of kelp forests. This we can conclude from the data in the graph, right? Leading to increased carbon dioxide absorption from the atmosphere. This is coming from the text. So we are linking the we can link the data from the chart to the text, right? So this will be the best option possible. And sea urchins devour kelp, that we cannot figure. Yes, we can say sea urchins do devour kelp because of sea urchins, but that doesn't connect the text to the data in the chart. So C is the only option which is connecting the data in the chart with the text. Got it? Okay, any other doubt in session 13? You've done all of them?
Not all of them.
Sequencing question number 6. No, this is not sequencing. Sorry, this is adding a sentence. Any doubt in this? You've got the answer? Hmm?
I have done already question number 5.
Can you be a little louder? I can't hear you clearly.
I have only done till question number 5.
Question number 5, okay. Okay, question number 5 is about, I think it's about some grammar or sentence structure. It says scientists knew this but did not recognize how large a role they played in keeping kelp forests to significantly decrease the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Your underlined portion is how large a role they played. Now, who are the they?
The sea otters.
The sea otters. Yeah. Now, this is coming from the previous paragraph. So I think this needs a little, but the previous sentence, now, if you look at the previous sentence, is it talking about the sea otters? Do we get the clarity of what they is referring to? No, right? So in this particular sentence, we have a pronoun they, but we don't know who the they is referring to. So to bring in clarity, we have to change this part a little bit. So which would be the best option then? C would be the best option. It brings about clarity how large a role sea otters played. So whenever you have a pronoun in the underlined portion, first figure out, is it bringing in clarity? Do you know what it is referring to? Is this from the particular sentence or from the previous sentence? If not, go in for replacing the pronoun with a noun. Okay. Okay, now anything else? Number 6, everyone's done? Yes, Sahas, have you done number 6? You haven't done this exercise?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, anyone who has done number 6, was your reasoning correct? Who did number 6? No one? Raise your hand if you've done number 6. Yeah, I can see your face. Can you move a little to your right? Yeah, okay. So you've done number 6. You got your answer right?
I think. I'll check.
So what was, okay, tell me your answer. What was your answer?
D. After
D.
sentence 5.
After sentence 5. So what Wilmers and Estes discovered in the study therefore surprised them. Now you have a therefore in this. So when you have therefore, usually we take it as a concluding sentence, but we have to be confirmed whether it is a concluding sentence or not. So what is the entire paragraph talking about? Can you tell me? So the points in the paragraph were, the first one is they didn't realize how large a role the otters played in keeping the kelp forest to significantly decrease the amount of carbon dioxide. Far from making no difference to the ecosystem, presence of otters was found to increase carbon shortage of kelp forest by 4.4 to 8.7 megatons annually, offsetting the amount of carbon dioxide emitted by 3 million to 6 million passenger cars each year. Now, now we can say that this was a discovery that they made, right? So this particular sentence cannot go in the middle after sentence 1. Now the sentence 1 is also before that. Okay, so it covers entire 3 paragraphs. So sentence 1 is what was less known until recently, etc. The amount of carbon dioxide. So this doesn't talk about the discovery as yet, right? Now in sentence 2, it is just talking about the study and what the study was about. And in this part, in sentence 5 and onwards, 5, 6, they're talking about what they discovered and why they were surprised. So this particular sentence will come only after sentence 5. So it will be a concluding sentence. So your logic should be clear, right? Okay, any other question over here which is doubtful? No? Nidhi?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. So I presume that this session number 13, you will be able to do. Whoever hasn't finished, please do finish it off. Right? Because I want all your doubts so that we can clear the doubts. Now what we'll do today is we'll move on to session 14.
Ma'am,
Yes,
the session 14 was done by Joseph sir.
you've done it?
Yeah, ma'am.
Oh, how come you randomly took up one? Okay, so everyone has done it, or is there somebody who hasn't done it?
Everyone has done.
Everyone has done it.
Yes,
So you have
ma'am,
got
this-
all the answers?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then we can move on to session 15 then. It's good you've done this. I hope you all have begun revising the grammar portion once again. Hmm? So this is session 15. Now what we'll do is I'll time you. So you have to follow a timing. We take an entire passage. Here you have 11 questions per passage. Yeah, that's the number of questions you will be encountering in your exam. So 11 questions per passage. Ideally, you should be able to complete a passage in 8 minutes. Right? 11 questions in 8 minutes. Now, how are you going to go about this passage? Say we take the first passage. Now, if you look at the questions, the first question is adding a sentence. Yeah, at this point. Now, this is pertaining to the first paragraph. So I think you can begin with attempting this. Now, how many questions are there which are related to only grammar? Now, question number 2 is grammar. 4 is grammar. 5,
Seven.
6 is also grammar. 7 is a sentence placement. We leave it till the
No,
end.
no. Seven questions are for grammar.
Yeah, okay. So 8 is also grammar. 9 grammar. And 10 is combining sentences. So what you will do is you will attempt all the grammar questions first. Yeah. And then you will go on to the sentence addition, deletion questions. And then last will be the paragraph completion question, or the paragraph arrangement question. Yeah. So go ahead. You get 8 minutes and we'll see. And it doesn't matter if you don't finish. We'll just at least begin with timing ourselves. Yes?
Right now we have to do only first 11 questions.
Yes, first 11 questions. Only relating to passage 1, that is questions 1 to 11, passage 1. I hope you are done. Everyone finished?
But
Yes, Sahas is very happy, finished. Okay,
Ma'am,
who else is finished? Yes, Sahas.
ma'am, I have one doubt in.
Okay, we'll discuss your doubt.
Okay.
Yes, Nidini, have you finished?
No, ma'am. I have last 2 questions left to
Okay,
attempt.
doesn't matter. Okay, so that was your 8 minutes, right? So now in 8 minutes, how many of you have been able to complete? Okay, very good. So how many have one question left? Okay. How many have 2 left? And more than 2? Okay. So if you have up till 2 left, it's okay, because we are just beginning to time ourselves and we haven't got into the speed as yet. So it's fair enough. And now coming to the answers, let's see if we have got the answers correct. Okay, so Sahas, which question did you have doubt?
7.
7. Okay, we'll come to 7. When we come to 7, you can raise your doubt.
Okay.
Okay, now question number 1. The writer is considering adding the following sentence. Yes or no? No. So why no? So what's your answer? C or D?
C.
C. Because it is not directly related to the main paragraph. The paragraph is talking about the new technology, how 3D printing is being used, and this is talking about what fossils are used for. Yeah, so it doesn't really get relate to the particular paragraph. Okay, question number 2.
Promise.
Promise. Okay, why did you choose promise?
It seems more appropriate.
More appropriate, why? What was the logic? Anyone has a logic? Yes? Nidini, what's your answer? Can I have your video on, please?
Ma'am, for the third one or for the second one?
Second one. What's your answer to the second one?
Ma'am, I'm not sure.
Okay, if you're not sure, but still, you would have chosen at least, you're not sure between which and which.
Ma'am, I think it will be A, but I'm not sure.
You think it will be A. Okay. So those who have got D as the answer, anybody else can give me the logic behind choosing D?
Mom, swear and vow mean the same thing.
Swear and vow.
Same thing.
Yeah, more or less. There is a little difference.
Like this swear is a kind of and bar both it is informal tone.
Right, they're informal tones. And the passage is talking about a scientific discovery. More or less, it's a scientific passage. So we will go with a formal tone, right? And that's why we will not take vow and swear, and subscribe doesn't really fit into the meaning of the word. So we will go with promise, right? So here's where your application of identifying the tone comes in. Okay, question number 3. The writer is considering deleting the underlined sentence. So should it
B.
be kept or deleted? It should be kept. Why it should be kept? Now, if you look at the paragraph, it talks about CT scanners use X-rays to map this, then a 3D printer then builds a polymer model, whereas the head of an ordinary computer printer moves back and forth while printing ink on paper. The corresponding part of the 3D printer moves. So what is it describing? It's describing a process which is related to the paragraph. Yeah. So I think we should be
It should be kept.
yeah, so we will go with B. It provides details to illustrate how the 3D printer works. Right? Okay. Okay, now coming to number 4.
Which is C.
Hmm? C which. Why did you choose which? Why won't it be appropriate?
Because it, this and that, all the 3 options will get clarity. Like if you're talking about the
So the plastic hardens quickly. We have a comma over here, and the comma is not underlined. We cannot change the comma. Yeah. So we will not go with that. And the plastic hardens, and it is talking about a process again. Yeah, it is talking about the same process. The plastic hardens, which allows the printer to build the layers. So it is not appropriate. Okay, coming to number 5.
Ma'am,
Yes, As?
ma'am, why can't it be this B?
Okay, the plastic, read the entire question with the entire sentence with this. The plastic hardens quickly. This allows a printer to build the layers of the final model. Now we are talking about a process even before that, and the plastic hardens quickly, which allows would be a better option over here because it's already talking about the process. right? Now, when we say this, it becomes a little more specific. Which over here, now we have a comma, which. When we say which allows the printer, means we are talking about that process that has already been taking place, right? So it's referring to whatever has been stated earlier.
Ma'am,
Okay,
fifth will be B.
fifth will be B. Why? In order for learning. Hmm?
Ma'am, A.
Underline portion. Where's the underline portion gone? In order to, yeah. So the question says, the sentence is, Professor is making model of dinosaur bones 1/10 of the bone's original sizes in order to learn how they fit together when animals were alive. Yeah, it says in order to learn. Now, do you think in order for learning is appropriate? No, right? Or so to learn, will that fit in?
No.
It could fit in if it was so as to learn. Now, this is what we talk about idiomatic expression. In order to learn is correct. It won't be in order for learning or in order of learning, so that one is learning. Even that is wrong. So here, first thing we have to see the tense. Secondly, the idiomatic expression, right? So your answer is no change, in order to learn. Okay, coming to number 6.
C.
C. Why C? What is this referring to? Fossils. And fossils is plural. So we will go with there. Okay, now number 7. So what's the answer to number 7?
D.
Ma'am, C.
We have D, we have C. Any other answer? Okay, so who all think it's C? Can raise your hand. Okay.
Can it be B?
Can it be B? Okay. So more or less we have all the options coming in. So Nidhini, you are quiet. What's your answer?
For the seventh one, I'm confused, but I feel that it's C.
You feel that it's C. Okay, now there's a lot of confusion with the 7th one. Let's analyze. Now they're talking about, to make this paragraph most logical, sentence 2 should be placed where? Now what is sentence 2? This is sentence 2. But now 3D scale models can be rearranged with ease, which is a huge boon to scientists. Yeah. So Celeb, what is your answer? Question number 7, what's your answer? You didn't do that question as yet. Okay. Now, I think yesterday you had a doubt and we were talking about connecting the dots, right? So now in this sentence, we first identify, in this paragraph, we first identify the keywords of each sentence, yeah, to figure out what each sentence is talking about and whether it should be placed. It says where it is now, before sentence 1, after 4, and after 5. These are your options. Now, sentence 1 is talking about one significant benefit of 3D printing is so and so. Yeah. Now, sentence 2 is talking about, but now 3D scale models can be rearranged with ease. Now, if it is talking about but now, there should be something about what happened earlier before this, because this is setting up a contrast. Yeah. Okay. Now, number 3 says a team led by Derek's University Professor Kenneth Lakova is making models of dinosaur bones 1/10 the bones original sizes. So this is about 1/10 the bones original sizes and making models. And in order to learn how they fit together when the animals were alive. Now 4 says in the past such research was limited by the weight and bulk of the fossils as well as its preciseness and fragility, preciousness and fragility. And number 5 says, in many cases, scientists had to rearrange bones virtually using artist renderings. Yeah, so these are your sentences. Now we go back to our sentence number 2. Try placing it before sentence number 1. Does it make sense? No, right? Now, if you place it after 4, 4 begins with in the past, such research was limited by this, and then it goes on to, but now 3D scale models can be rearranged with ease.
Does it make sense?
That connects?
No.
In the past, research was limited by the weight and bulk of the fossils. Yeah, so he's talking about what was the problem. And number 2 says, but now 3D scale models can be rearranged with ease, which is a huge boon to scientists. 3D scale models, but now. So this but now can connect to in the past. Does it?
Yes.
Now, if you look at number 5, after sentence 5, in many cases, scientists had to. Okay, now here we come to a little more. Now, 4 talks about in the past, such research was limited by the weight and fragility. In many cases, scientists had to rearrange bones virtually using artist renderings. So does 5 connect to 4?
Yes.
Right? Okay, now here we are talking about rearranging bones. Now in sentence number 2, apart from but now, what is it saying? 3D models can rearrange with ease. Right? So even though we have in the past but now, sentence 4 and 5 are connected to each other. We cannot place this in the middle. Right? We won't place it after 4. If we look at 5, it makes more sense because 4 and 5 are connected together. They're talking about in the past what happened. They had to rearrange both bones virtually using artist renderings. But now 3D scale models can be rearranged with ease. So this logically comes after
Option
sentence
D.
5. So we go with option D. Right? So now all your doubts are solved.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
So you have to analyze the sentences, see what each sentence is talking about, which are the sentences that are connected and nothing can go in between, right? And then we look at where it can be placed best. Okay, now question number 8.
B.
D.
B. Why do you
D.
think? B or
For
D?
example. For example.
For example. Okay. Now, what is it talking about? We already read till 5 and we know that now, but now 3D models. Because CT scanners can map objects that are possible to excavate, CT scanning and 3D printing can also be used to reproduce fossils that scientists cannot observe firsthand. Yeah. Then, by contrast, researchers from the National Museum of this. So this is actually giving you an example of the previous point. Yeah. So we'll have for example and not by contrast. Okay, number 9.
B.
B.
Yeah. So the scientists from the National Museum, researchers from the National Museum of Brazil, either it should be have relied or just relied,
Is
not
relying.
has relied. Is relying, why will you have is relying?
It's not continued.
No, ma'am, it will be option B, relied.
Relied on. It's in the past tense. Yeah. And anyway, we are talking about the researchers, so it will be in plural, not is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we come to combining the sentence. Which choice most effectively combines the underlined sentence? So what's your option?
C.
C. Are you sure about it? So what are the sentence? So anybody who thinks it's not C? Anybody with a different answer? No? Everyone got C? So why did you choose C? Your
Ma'am.
sentences are the fossil was too delicate to be removed from the rock. Because of the fossil's delicate nature, the team dug up a block of stone around the fossil and brought it to their lab. Now, if you are to combine these two, we have to remove repetition first thing, right? So if we look at A, fossil could not be removed from the block on account of it being too delicate. So what is the focus of the sentence? We have these two sentences. The fossil was too delicate to be removed from the rock. That is the focus, or the team dug up the a block of stone around the fossil and brought it to the lab. Which is the focus point?
I think the fossil was too delicate to be
Yeah.
removed
So
from the rock.
this is the fossil point. That is, it was too delicate, and because of that, they had to.
The other team
dig up.
members had to dug it up.
So now, if you look at A, it has moreover the team members. So it is it continue? It is giving the same relationship that we already have in the two sentences. No, because it was delicate, they had to dig up. Yeah. So moreover will not be an answer. The team thought the fossil was too delicate. Is it keeping to the meaning of this given sentence? It doesn't say thought. Yeah. Now coming to C, the fossil was too delicate to be removed from the rock. So the team dug up a block of stone around the fossil and brought it to their lab. So this combines the two, keeps the relationship between the two sentences and makes it concise, right? Now D is, in removing the fossil from the rock, the team found it was too delicate. Now the team found it was too delicate is making it a little wordy and not keeping with the meaning that not keeping with the focus that is required in the two sentences. So C is your correct option. Always remember that your logic should be correct. If your logic is correct, no matter what, you will get your answer right. Don't make a wild guess. Okay, question number 11. C. So, sorry. Now, examining the model, the researchers determined that one had found a new species. Now, one is not the researchers, they would be the researchers, right?
Yeah, they here represents the researchers.
Right. Okay. Okay, so now this was good. How many of you got all of them right, or at least say about 9 right? Okay, very good. And anyone who had doubts, all doubts were solved, right? Okay, now get to passage 2, questions 12 to 22. Yeah, and your time starts now. Now try to finish it within 8 minutes, maybe a little less. Anyone done? Everyone finished? Okay, it should be on almost done. And those who have finished can please go through your answers and see if they are correct. That is, go just see any question you have doubt, go back to it now. Okay, so that was 8 minutes. I think 8 minutes was quite a bit, and you finished comfortably?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so now we can go through the answers and see if we are correct or do we have any doubts. Okay, question number 12.
B.
Sorry.
B.
Question 12, it should be B.
B. B or
B.
D? Which one are you talking about?
Delete the underline
B.
portion.
Deleting the underline.
Deleting the underlined portion, right? Yes, that is the answer. Why?
Because it's a comparison and we don't need to add.
Right. What is it comparing? It's comparing, some people buy organic food because they believe organic crops are more nutritious and safer for consumption than the people who purchase. So it should be than their conventionally grown counterparts. You are not comparing it to the people. Okay, number 13.
B.
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 So the they here again we have that we don't know who it is. Yeah, spending so much for every dollar they would have spent on food. So who are spending, we don't know. Okay, number 14.
B.
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 B or D? D for dog or B for ball?
Dog. Dog.
Dog. Okay. So why did you go with D?
It's a concise one.
Ma'am, B and C are
Size.
wrong. So D.
Yeah, B and C are anywhere, they don't make sense in this context. Okay, we went with the one that was concise. Okay, number 15.
C.
B. B.
However,
B or C. We have a problem. Okay, now here we have, now what are these words doing? They are conjunctions which are setting up a relationship between the two parts of the sentence or two sentences. Yeah. Now the previous sentence was talking about consumers spending so much, have spent, that is grown in a manner that is considered conventional. Here we says scientific evidence dash, say you create a blank over here, suggests that consumers do not reap significant benefits in terms of either nutritional value or safety from organic food. So what is it doing? It is giving you a contrasting point. Yeah, because the previous points are talking about going in for organic food, going in for the conventionally grown counterparts and spending so much. Here, the scientific evidence is talking about something else. They do not reap significant benefits from the organic food. So what is a word that should come in instead of therefore?
C.
However, right? Contrast is set up with however. Got it? Okay. Now number 16.
B.
Hmm?
B.
B or D?
I think it will be D. D for dog.
Sustain that.
Carry on.
C.
So we've got B, C, D. What to do? Okay, let's look at the sentence. Although advocates of organic food dash that organic produce is healthier than conventionally grown produce because it has more vitamins and minerals, this assertion is not supported by scientific research. Yeah. So in your own words, what can be a word that can be replaced or can be filled into the blank? Say you have a blank.
Yes, ma'am, got it. It should be C.
It should be
C.
C. though advocates of organic food, you can say believe that, yeah, they would be believing that, or are of the opinion that, right? So maintain will be the answer, not carry on or sustain. So whenever you have something like this, that you have to replace a word, first create a blank, fill in with your own words or phrases, and then see what is the word that is similar, right? Okay, number 17.
A.
A, no change. Hmm? Why do you think you have no change? What is the sentence doing? Now, the previous sentence was talking about all the advocates of organic food say that it has more conventionally grown produce because it has more vitamins and minerals, etc. And one review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition provided analysis of the results of comparative studies conducted over this, evidence that organic crops are more nutritious. So we will not go with however, that is a contrast. Likewise, no, we are not talking about a similar point, nor we are talking about an additional point. We are just saying that how the American journal has, article in the American journal has proved the previous point. So for instance would be correct. Okay, number 18.
C.
C. Okay, now your sentence is United States Department of Agriculture reports that organic agricultural products are now available in approximately 20,000 markets. So first of all, it brings up the Department of Agriculture, availability in the markets. What is this paragraph talking about? The previous sentence and the next sentence, here it says, similarly, Stanford University researchers etc. different kinds of organic food. It is talking about the nutritional value of organic food. So this is not in the context. So not relevant. Okay, number 19.
D.
A.
We have D and we have A.
Ma'am, here they're talking about Environmental Protection Agency, so that's like just one organization. So I feel that it should be A. Sorry, D.
It should be D. Okay, have you read the entire sentence? Okay, let's read the entire sentence. According to such organizations at the US Environmental Protection Agency, the minute amounts of residue falling within such limits have no negative impact. So what is this have referring to?
Negative.
The
Minute amounts of
residue, right? So minute amounts of residue, that is a plural.
Yeah. Right,
So
it should be
we
A.
has, had, has, or is having. These are all singular. Yeah, so we will go with no change. Okay, number 20.
C. B. C. C.
C.
B.
C and
B.
B. B or D?
B.
B. Okay. Any other?
D.
D. Okay, we've got 3 options. Now, what is your question? First, you have to understand your question. At this point, the writer wants to further reinforce the paragraph's claim about the safety of non-organic food, right? Which choice most effectively accomplishes this goal? So we have to have a sentence which is talking about the safety of non-organic food. And what was the previous sentence? According to such organizations at the US agency, the minute amount of residue falling within such limits have no negative impact on human health. So we have to support this particular statement that has already been made. And the earlier sentence was talking about while researchers have found lower levels of pesticide residues in organic produce than non-organic produce, the pesticide residue detected in conventional produce falls within acceptable safety limits. Right? So this is what should be supported in the sentence that we want to add over here. Now, A says to be labeled organic, a product must meet certain standards. That is not talking about what the paragraph is about. Organic food, however, is regulated to eliminate artificial ingredients that include. So, is this talking about the conventional, accepting conventional produce and the residue falling within the limits and has no negative impact? Here we are talking about the pesticide residue in conventional produce being within limits and having no impact. So these were the keywords that we picked up from these sentences. Now, organic food, however, is regulated. Is this supporting the points made in the previous two sentences? No, right? Eliminate. Then C says, moreover, consumers who are concerned about ingesting pesticide residue can eliminate much of it by simply washing or peeling produce before eating it. So this is talking about pesticide residue and consumers are concerned and how they can eliminate it. Okay, now what is D doing? In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency estimates that about 1/5 of the pesticides used worldwide are applied to crops in the United States. Does this have anything to do with the points already made in the paragraph? Does it support the points? Those who are thinking D is the answer, go back to analyze. Is this supporting the point that we have already got in the previous two paragraphs? It's not, right? So D again will not be the answer. So we are left with C. Yeah. And C says, moreover, consumers who are concerned about ingesting pesticide can eliminate by simply washing or peeling. So that makes sense?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Now, okay, we have two more. Okay, 21.
B.
They
B.
are. Yeah, so THEIR doesn't make sense over here. Okay, number 22.
B.
B.
D, dog.
Okay. So everyone thinks it's D?
Yes.
Okay, why did you take D? Such as. So, comma after such as is an error, right? So good. I think you are doing quite well. Apart from a few analytical, I think okay, now you go back to the answers and see which ones you got wrong. Just tell me the questions that you got wrong.
16 and 20. 19.
16.
16 and 19 and
22.
22. Who got 22 wrong?
Ma'am, I gave option B. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the explanation it was given for answers. What is non-restrictive list and restrictive list? I didn't understand that part.
So we are not, anyway, you have such as. Whenever such as comes up, you know you don't need a comma after such as, and that's the point that we were dealing with. Right?
After such as, no kind of conjunction can come.
Conjunction can come, But when you are talking about such as a desire to protect the environment from potentially damaging pesticides or this, so we have an explanation or a list after such as, but when you are punctuating such as, what is the rule? You can have a comma before such as, but no comma after such as. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's a simple thing. Whether it is restrictive or not restrictive, that is to analyze further. But the main point is no comma after such as. Okay. So now if you go back to analyzing the questions you got wrong, was it something that you overlooked or was it something that you were not able to analyze? Yes?
Between the both.
Yes, Ars?
Between the both.
Can you be a little more clear?
I'm like, thus in 16,
Hmm.
I overlooked that we had to use like a synonym for the word.
Right. So it was that means you did not read the sentence carefully. Yeah. So whenever you are dealing with a word, replacing a word, first thing to do is create a blank, read the sentence and see what word, what's your own word or phrase that can fit in. Then go to the options, pick up the word which is similar, go back to the sentence, plug it in and see if it is correct. It may happen that you have two options which may be correct, but only one of them fit in grammatically. Yeah, it should also fit in grammatically. Okay, so I think now question number 18, 20, 20 we had a little bit of a problem. Yeah, we had a whole lot of answers for 20. Now you are clear how you are going to eliminate the wrong options? Okay, I think we'll take about a 5-minute break and then we will move on to a few more exercises.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone back? Yes, thank you. Okay, so now we can move on to the next passage. This is questions 23 to 33, right? So now this time I think we can do it in 7 minutes, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so 7 minutes for this passage. Okay, anyone done?
Yes, yes.
Yes? Okay, very good. So 7 minutes were enough to finish it? Now why I say 7, you have to be able to practice to finish a passage within 7 minutes, because at last 1 minute that will be left, while you are doing the passages, you complete one passage, you enter your answer into the OMR sheet. That is also a job that you have to do. It's not only getting the answers, but also entering the answers. So all this should be completed and then going back to any question which you have a doubt in, right? So all this should be completed in 8 minutes. So answering the questions, you have to do in 7 minutes flat, right? Within 7 minutes. Okay, now anyone left with any question? Anyone who has not been able to complete? Okay, one person here. Nidini, Sara, can we have your videos on so I know where you are and what you are doing, and we can communicate.
Yeah, ma'am, I completed.
Okay, can you have your video on?
Ma'am, even I have
Yeah,
completed.
ma'am, can you just give me a minute?
Okay, Sara, have you completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you have your video on? Okay, coming to the answers. Number 23.
C.
C. Why did you say C?
Which present tense answer?
We needed a present tense over here. Okay, number 24.
C.
B, C. Somebody said A? No. So we have B and C. Okay, what was the problem in this underlined portion? Read the sentence. We have a colon over here. right? Now, if we have a colon, the part before the sentence should be independent clause. The part after the colon would be an explanation or a list, right? And the sentence should be ending with the explanation or list if we have just one colon. So is that colon, now we have to see what is the colon doing over there. The sentence says the designer envisions the game's fundamental elements, the settings, characters, and plots that make each game unique, and is thus a primary creative force behind a video game. Now, if you look at this portion, and is thus a primary video game, or that comes along with that make each game unique. So what is the purpose of the colon over here? Is it setting up a list or explanation and ending with the list? What is the colon doing? Anyone is getting the idea what is the purpose of the colon? Read the portion of the sentence after the colon and the portion before. The designer envisions the game's fundamental elements. So what are the fundamental elements? The settings, characters, and plots that make each game unique, right? And then we have, and is thus a primary creative force behind a video game. And is thus a primary creative force behind a video game. Is that a part of the elements? No. So we have the elements in the middle. So this portion is giving us the elements. So can we have a colon over here? Because the sentence is continuing. Now, so this will come as an additional information. How do we separate additional informations?
Double dash.
We can have a double dash, right? So B is wrong. We can, and anyway, we can't have a colon and a dash paired up. Do we take a colon and a dash paired up?
No, ma'am.
No, right? So we'll have a double dash. Okay. So the other options are eliminated. Okay, number 25.
A.
B.
No
A.
change.
No change. Okay, we have no change. We have B.
C.
Anything else? C. Any with D? We seem to have all the options correct. Okay, now let's read the sentence and figure out whether anything is wrong, and if wrong, what is it? So we have conceptualizing a game is only the beginning of a video game designer's job. However, no matter how good a concept is, it will never be translated into a video game unless it is communicated effectively to all the other members of the video game development team. Now, this whole thing is one sentence. So what is this sentence doing? It's talking about a lot of things. We have an however in the middle. Now, this is an example of a run-on sentence. Remember for the first lesson you did on sentence structure? Run-on sentences and fragments, right? So this is a run-on sentence where we have two complex sentences put together, right? Now, what are we going to do? The best way to deal with run-on sentences would be to separate them into two sentences, right? Now, conceptualizing a game is only the beginning of a video game developer's job, however. And then it says, no matter how good a concept is, it will never be translated into the video game unless it is communicated effectively, etc., etc. Right? So now this can come in as a first part of the sentence, and this can come in as a second sentence. Now we have a problem with the however. Where to fit that in? Now, if we are separating into two sentences, we have only one option over here. Now, D is not an option. It has done away with all the commas and combined the whole thing into one compound sentence, which is wrong. Now, no change also is we have eliminated. Now we look at C. Job dash, however. Does this dash work?
Ma'am, the dash will not come between job and however.
Right. So we have eliminated C also. The only option we have is B.
B.
So we go with B. Yeah. No further thinking about where to place however. Okay. Okay. Now coming to 26.
A.
C.
D.
A.
A. Okay. Any other answer? We have A, we have D. Who all go with A? Okay.
Ma'am, I'm confused between C and D.
Confused between C and D. Okay, now, and who else goes with D? Okay. So now looking at the sentence, now we have a lot of confusion, A, C, and D. So we'll go back to reading the question and looking at the context. At this point, the writer is considering adding the following sentence. Successful communication is essential if a designer's idea is to become a reality. So what is the key point here? Successful communication is as essential if the designer's idea is to become a reality. Now, what do? We read the sentence before, we read the sentence after. Right? The sentence before is conceptualizing a game is a beginning, and no matter how good a concept is, it will never be translated into a video game unless it is communicated effectively to all the other members of the video game development team. Next is a designer must generate extensive documentation and explain his or her ideas clearly, etc. Now, this sentence is talking about successful communication is essential if a designer's idea is to become reality. Now, the previous sentence is already talking about it cannot be translated into an idea if it is, unless it is communicated effectively. And the second one talks about explaining ideas clearly. So the points that are raised and that have come into this particular sentence, have they already been mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah. So this, if we add this, we can read the paragraph adding this sentence. So, job, however, no matter how good your concept is, it will never be translated into a video game unless it is communicated effectively to all the other members of the video game development team. Successful communication is essential if a designer's idea is to become a reality. A designer must generate extensive documentation and explain his or her ideas clearly in order to ensure that the programmers, artists, etc., etc. Yeah. So if you are reading the paragraph with this sentence, do you find repetition of ideas?
Yes.
Right? So, and we don't want repetition in any of these paragraphs, right? So we won't add it, right? So now what would your option be? It will be D, right? Now C says it distracts from the focus of the paragraph. Does it distract? No.
No.
A says because it supports the conclusion drawn in the following sentence. Is it supporting the conclusion or just restating it?
No, it's just restating it.
Right.
in
So A,
French.
we will not add A and B eliminated. C is your answer. No, sorry. C is also eliminated. D is your answer.
D.
Right? Okay. Now coming to number 27. A, no change. Okay. Everyone goes with A?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So A, yes, we will go with A. Why? It says a designer must generate extensive documentation, explain his or her ideas clearly. Now, possess a vivid imagination doesn't go in. We already have said they are doing extensive documentation. Yeah. Assess motivations. No. Learn to accept constructive criticism in order to ensure that programmers, artists understand what they are sharing. No. Okay. Now question number 28.
D.
C and D. Two answer options we've got. C. Okay, let's see what now what is however doing? However is setting up a contrast. Consequently would be giving you a cause-effect relationship. Yeah, so we first see what is a relationship. The previous sentence we already had read, explain his or her ideas clearly in order to ensure that programmers, artists, and others on the team all share the same vision. Yeah. Now, dash, anyone considering a career as a video game designer must be skilled writers and speakers. That's a grammatical error. In addition, because video game development is a collaborative effort, and so now would we say, however, now we are in the previous paragraph, in the previous sentences, we were talking about what does the conceptualization of the video game require? They need effective communication skills, and they need extensive documentation, right? And then we go on to anyone who is considering such a career must be a skilled writer and speaker, right? So would we go with however or consequently? Consequently. So because of all these points, he should be a skilled writer and speaker. Okay, now coming to number 29, skilled writer and speaker.
B.
B, a skilled writer and speaker. Why? Because we were talking about anyone. Yeah, anyone would be a skilled writer and speaker. It would be going into singular. Okay, now question number 30.
A. No change.
A, no change. And we have B or D? D.
D for dog.
D for dog. Okay, we have A, I suppose B also, and D. Okay, now let's look at why no change. Who said no change? Nidhi or Sarah?
Ma'am,
Nidhi.
I said
Okay.
Nidhi.
So why do you think it should be no change? It says, in fact, many designers initially begin their pursuits as programmers. Now, what's wrong with this?
Initially and begin with the same.
Initially and begin mean the same thing. Yeah, so it is redundancy. We have to remove redundancy. So we just go with begin their careers. Yeah. Okay, now number 31.
B.
Hmm? Important. Why? Courses in psychology and human behavior may help you develop, now put a blank, develop important skills. Yeah. Now if you look at paramount, does that also mean important?
Paramount means something which is of great importance.
Of great importance, and you will refer to something specific. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are
something
talking about skills, so important skills. Okay, now we have question number 32.
A.
Hmm?
No change.
A, no change. Yeah, why no change? We have a comma here. Although demanding and deadline driven, comma, video game design can be a lucrative and rewarding field for people who love gaming and have prepared themselves, etc. So, what are we talking about? The career of video game design, right? So we will keep it the choice. We're not talking about the choice. We are not talking about you should choose or choosing. We are talking about the video game design. Although demanding and deadline driven. So this modifier gives you the clue to what it should be. Okay, now we come to number 33, sentence placement. Huh? B? Everyone thinks it's B, or any confusion? Hmm?
Yeah, ma'am. B.
So why B? Who'll tell me why B? Yes, can you be a little loud and clear? I can't hear you. You're too far from the mic. Yes, please.
Because the sentence 5 states that a designer should also needs to be careful about educational preparation.
Hmm. Yeah.
And from sentence 1, it tells that a basic understanding of computer programming is essential. So computer programming is part of getting education. So
So now what is the whole paragraph talking about? Understanding programming is essential. So begin the pursuit as programmers.
Computer science courses.
Taking up computer science courses. Now courses in psychology. Then it goes on to, and this is finally. So this will not come before, right? So the entire paragraph is actually talking about the different courses. So this could be a topic sentence for introducing the paragraph, right? So you are correct. It should be placed before sentence 1. Okay. So we finished this 33 questions over here. Any doubts or in solving the question? So any particular problem that you are facing? Anyone with any particular problem? So what you will do is you will go through the questions that you've got wrong and see why you got them wrong. The best way to learn and get your questions right would be learn from your mistakes, right? So any mistake you have made, see why you got it wrong. Okay? If it is an analytical problem, you have to learn to analyze a little deeper. I think you are getting to it anyway. Okay, so would you want to do one more exercise?
Yeah,
a little
ma'am.
bit, at least half of it, right? Okay, now it doesn't take too long. So again, I think we will go in for 7 minutes. Yeah. So 7 minutes for questions 1 to 11, that is passage number 1. I hope you are done. Yeah, finish comfortably or something left to do?
Question number 8.
Question number 8 is left to do. Okay, go ahead, do it. Okay, so I believe everyone has finished. Was it easy to finish it within 7 minutes? Yeah, can be achieved comfortably, right? Okay, so now getting to the answers.
I think it will be option A, no change.
Option A, no change. Anybody else with any
D.
other option? D, delete. Let's see why it should be D or A. So now let's read it. Now, this will come from the previous sentence. The context has to be built up. Yeah. So this stop them picture. Legend has it that the corrupt politician William Boss Tweed once used those words when ordering someone to offer a bribe to Thomas Nast, an artist who had become famous for cartoons that called for reforms to end corruption. Then it comes, as a result, Tweed's attempt to silence the artist failed. Now, what is this as a result? Are we talking about something before this? The previous sentence says, the legend has it that he once used these words when ordering someone to offer a bribe to Thomas Nast to become. So that was once, but was this, now Tweed's attempt to silence the artist failed. So was it a result of that or it just failed? It just failed. So as a result, we don't need over here, we will delete it. So your correct answer is D. Right? Okay. Now coming to number 2, which choice most effectively combines the sentences?
D.
B or D?
D.
D. Who said B for ball? Anyone with B? No. Okay. Yes, D is the correct answer because that combines the two. The two sentences are, there were powerful political organizations in the 80s and
But there is a the quotes, they're different.
yeah, that is a slight error in the printing error. So the code will be actually over here.
So that wasn't printing it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a printing error. So if you have it that way, then that should not be there. Okay, you can just correct it. So we have, there were powerful political organizations, say 1860s and the 1870s. Organizations were known as political machines and started taking control over the city government. So what do we have? We have the political organizations. They are known as political machines and they took over city governments. These 3 points should be combined together. Now, A begins with powerful organizations started taking control and they were known as political machines. What does that do? It takes away the focus. What is the focus? There were political organizations. That is the focal point. And then we go on to what they did or what they were known as. So A will not be the answer. Known as political machines also is taking the focus away. City governments were taking control of, that is a passive voice. We don't go with passive voice, right? Only option left is D, concise, combines it together and removes all the repetitions. Okay, question number 3.
C.
A.
A, and what else do we have? C. Somebody had a different answer or everyone thinks it's A? Yes, Nidini?
Ma'am, I'm confused between A and C.
Confused between A and C. Okay, so if you're confused, then what do? Read the sentence again. These politics. So anyone can explain? Sahas, you got A as the answer or C as the answer?
A.
A. So can you explain why you chose A?
Ma'am, the
Hmm.
after the comma, it's explaining the process.
Yeah, it is explaining what it is. So
Yeah.
these political machines were able to pack legislatures and courts with hand-picked supporters by purchasing votes. Then after the comma, it tells you a form of election fraud involving the exchange of money or favors for votes. So this comma serves as the purpose of setting up a pause instead of a colon or a dash to show that, okay, this next part is an explanation. So if the next part is an explanation, would we require that is? Right? So we already have, now if we, even if we add that is, it's not going to make much of a difference. Right? Only the difference would be that it is adding words to and taking away from the concise statement that is already there. Okay, so here your answer is A. Okay, coming to number 4.
B.
Hmm? B.
B.
Okay, why B? Hmm? Can somebody explain why B? Nobody wants to
Ma'am,
explain?
because we don't
Yes.
use
Hmm?
the dash won't come between 1860s and stole more than $30.
Why dash won't come? So you said the dash won't come, but you should know why it should not come.
Well, because stole more than 30 million is not an additional information. It's
Hmm.
it's a
Hmm?
ma'am, it completes the sentence, the information of
Completes the sentence. It's not additional information. Okay, let's read the sentence. Why do we have a dash here? The boss tweets Tammy Hall Group, which controlled New York City in the 1860s, dash, stole more than 30 million, the equivalent of more than 365 million today. So what was the purpose of the dash over here? Was it separating something? Okay. Now read again. Boss tweets Tammy Hall Group, which controlled New York City in the 1860s. Now this portion, which controlled New York City in the 1860s, is actually an additional information. Now here we have a comma and here we have a dash. Either we should have both commas or both dashes, right? And since we don't have the option of both dashes, we will go with comma, right? So this particular portion is set off by a dash and a comma pairing, which is incorrect, right? So always read the content of the sentence whenever you have a dash and see what is the dash doing, right? So who of you got it correct? Okay, quite a few. But did you have your reasoning correct? Who had the reasoning correct?
Ma'am, I had the answer correct, but my reasoning was wrong.
Yeah, so I think nobody got the reasoning correct. You just figured out, okay, there should be a comma over here. Why?
Yeah, ma'am.
That was not here. Now you know. So whenever you have a dash, see why is a dash there. Okay, question number 5.
C.
C.
C. It should be deleted. Why? It now the rest of the passage or the paragraph is talking about his group which controlled, it's talking about the political organization as such. And this comes in, Tweed had been elected to a single 2-year term in 82. Tammy Hall was so powerful. Now, the entire paragraph is talking about Tammy Hall. This sentence may be true, but it is not relevant to the particular points that are already being discussed. Right? Okay, question number 6.
C.
Hmm?
C.
C. Why C?
Because there is quotes after commented. So to start a quote, you need a comma.
There is a quote after commented. Okay. So
You need a comma before it.
we need a comma over there. And we don't need a comma after times. Anything else? Only one error you found over here?
Two errors, but there should be no comma after that.
Yes. This, that comma is also an error. So we have to remove 2 errors. Now here we have corrupt comma that the New York Times commented. So that will also be an error. Eliminate. Corrupt that the New York Times commented. That would be correct. And D, we have this comma over here, which is again misplaced. Okay, now coming to 7.
A.
No change.
No change. Why? Because all the others, it talks about the artist's most famous images showed Tweed, etc., etc. Famous and well-known, famous and something. So anything you add to famous, it becomes redundant. Okay, question number 8. Yes?
Ma'am, even the images is underlined, right? So if we add this, so the sentence is meaningless if you don't have image only.
No, it's like, what can you change over here? Right? Most famous and well-known maybe images could be added over here. But the main thing is, are we changing famous or not? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, number 8.
D.
D.
Hmm?
D
D?
for
Yeah. D is the correct answer because it is supporting the rest of the paragraph, what the content of the rest of the, or the idea of the rest of the paragraph. A, B, and C don't go with the idea of the paragraph. Okay, now coming to number 9.
D.
Hmm? D?
Yes.
Anybody has a different answer?
No.
Everyone with D?
Yeah, ma'am.
So what is the difference between persecuted and prosecuted? You took prosecuted instead of persecuted, and it's persecuted for and prosecuted on. So what is the difference? What does persecuted mean?
Prosecuted means you are legally getting punished for some crimes.
That is prosecuted. Right, okay. And what is persecuted?
abuse or like discrimination, like
Persecuted means harassed without any charge. Yeah. So a charge has not been framed, but you are being harassed or punished. And if you look at the idiomatic expression, it will be prosecuted on a number of charges, not for a number of charges. Right? Okay, number 10. A, no change. Why? Okay, in 85, Tweed escaped from jail and fled to Spain and unwittingly brought about one final pinnacle. So it is in the past tense, right? So, and we don't go with has brought. So A will be the answer. Number 11. Hmm? C, B, or D?
B.
Hmm? B. Why did you choose B? Now it says, in 85, Tweed escaped from jail and fled Spain and unwittingly brought about one final pinnacle for the power of political cartoons. A Spanish officer, police officer recognized Tweed from one of Nast's cartoons. So that is the reference point. So one more, not pinnacle, but triumph. Yeah, one more success for the cartoons. So this was a success. Okay, so this is done. Yeah, and you have to be able to maintain your stamina for the exam. So we will do, okay, our time is over. Fine. So now you have the, you have 1, 2, okay, 2 more passages in this session. Yeah, which will you will do for homework. And apart from this, this we will discuss and we'll do session 16 for homework, session 16 in class. You will be doing session 17 and 18 as homework. Yeah, and we will discuss all those answers in class. Okay. So
Okay.
session 17 and 18 have how many passages? Let's see. Session 17 has 1, 2, 3, I think. Yeah, 3 passages. So 3 passages, how much time? How much time will you take for one session?
7 minutes.
7 minutes per passage. 3 passages, 21 minutes, right? So you will put a timer on. You will not stop with, you will not do one passage at a time and time yourself. You will do all 3 passages together and keep the timer on for 21 minutes. Yeah. So 33 questions in 20. Write it down over there that you have to complete this in 21 minutes. Yeah, or less than that. Okay. So that's
Session
your
17.
homework. Session 17. Yes. And if possible, session 18. If not, you can do session 18 later. Right? Okay, then. So that's it for today. And if you have any doubts from the previous sessions or the sessions you are going to do, please note them down in one place so that you know what questions you have to ask. Okay? Okay, then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you.